Dawson Rider review.
Hey YouTube, Dawson Rider here. Welcome to my review for Mashin Sentai Kiramager episode 30 after taking a week off. Do we finally have a bad episode? No, it was another good one. Dang it! It's really funny, I feel like in Power Rangers I'm praying for a decent episode, and in Kiramager it's almost like, are they gonna finally have a bad one? I mean, there's ones that I haven't liked as much, but there hasn't been one that I haven't liked. So I thought this was a very enjoyable episode. I feel like you could do a supercut of me just saying that, but I really liked it. It was kind of a combination of a little bit filler and a little bit important stuff. So the main premise was basically about teasing a fake 7th Kiramager, which was kind of cool in a way. And the Rangers are training at the beginning, and they're kind of talking about how, you know, the challenges are harder than ever before with this new villain and stuff. Should we get a 7th member? I thought that was just a nice discussion to have in general, just practically. And then they get interrupted by the attack of the mannequin monster of the week, and like after that, you see Silver's brother being like, it's my time to shine, and his glasses sprinkle, not sprinkled, the sparkle, there we go. Maybe they sprinkled, I don't know, now I want sprinkled donuts. So that kind of tees off the part of the episode, and the Rangers end up getting in a pickle in the battle, and Green gets frozen, and the arrow won't come to them. And when they come back to the base, they're like, oh, he's working on it somewhere. He's working on the Careful Go arrow, so they couldn't get it. And where is he? And then there's this discussion about him being the 7th Kiramager, because Silver's like, I remember when I was injured, I overheard part of a conversation between him and Oridin, where he's like, you know, you'd make a great warrior. And they're thinking, oh, maybe he wants to be Silver, or the 7th Kiramager, and help. And, you know, Silver's like all amped up for it. He's like, yeah, this would be great. He can finally achieve his dream, he can help us out, and he can be Kirame Gold. And then Shigeru's like, why does it have to be gold? I loved that moment. It was not only so funny just the delivery, but as you know, I've been exhausted at how creatively bankrupt Sentai has been with 6 Rangers. Even though I love Kirame Silver's suit, and I love Ryuso Gold's suit, I'm so sick of gold and silver. Like, that happens every year, where I'm just like, please don't be gold or silver, please don't be gold and silver, and then it's gold or silver, and then I'm like, alright, you sly bastard, when can you start? Because the suit looks cool, but again, it was kind of meta, it was kind of funny, and then they show like a fake mock-up of a Kirame Gold based off of Silver's suit. It kind of looks like one of those rider suits, like Evil Ryugen, where they're clearly strapped for budget, but they need something for the plot, which is rare because usually it's like, oh, we need to sell toys, but I guess it's both, they still want to sell toys. Anyway, but that's what it reminded me of. It's like one of those ones where they just recolor and slightly alter, but I honestly kind of dug it. I hope we kind of see it in the future again. Like, I was just thinking not too long ago how Sentai seems to have been, outside of Q-Ranger, which obviously had a lot of Rangers by default, but seems to be really precious and withholding about having more Rangers, probably because Sentai's not doing so well with the budget. But I've been hoping for a series where we get more Rangers, because I like to get more Rangers, I like to get more suits, especially when it's suits I like Kiramager. And then they actually went through the trouble of showing like an actual suit. Like, it wasn't a full-on new suit, but still, I dug the look of it. I hope we might see it in the future. But that's basically what they're thinking, is that he's modifying the arrow to transform him into gold, and there's this debate about like, well, we want to help him achieve his dream and join us, but we also need the arrow to fight this monster, and that goes into the field, and they're still having this debate, and then he shows up, and then Silver's all amped, like, yes, he's gonna become gold, and he's like, what are you talking about? I was just modifying the arrow to communicate with Aslan, or whatever, where Oridin's mecha form is, because that's something else they were talking about earlier, was that, like, Oridin can't just be summoned because they can't communicate with Aslan easily, because Chronicles of Narnia. And I'm glad that, not only this for the plot, but I'm glad they fixed that, because I'm not a fan of those things where you have like a mecha or an ally that can't be summoned, and they kind of come of their own free will, but then they show up every time anyway. I don't know why, that just always bothers me. So not only did they fix that, but it was a nice character beat, and almost a flip on what I thought was going to happen. I thought he was going to want to become Kirame Gold, and they were going to convince him that his true strength is in what he does for the team now. But he already knew that, and I kind of liked that, and he's like, yeah, this is where I belong. And then they go back to the flashback and show that, you know, since Silver was passed out and he had an evil stone in his body, we've all been there, right? He misheard it, so he only heard like half the conversation about how, you know, he's like a warrior in his own right because of how well he supports his brother and his friends now. And he's modified the arrow, now we can communicate, so Blue can use the arrow to fight on the ground, and then they fight the big guy and blow him up, and now, like I said, the king can be summoned, and he talks to them all at the end, and he finally gets to talk to his family, and he gets to talk to Silver's brother. And it was just a really nice episode. Like I said, it felt like kind of a combination of a fun filler, where like the idea of Kirame Silver's Silver, I keep wanting to say that because the suit, Kirame Gold is like presented, and we get to see a little bit of that for fun, but it ends up being kind of a character beat development for Silver's brother. And then it's also a little bit plot because you're moving some stuff towards with the characters and also moving some stuff with the mecha, so you create the scenario where he can be summoned at any time, and now Oradin is not only available for the mecha fights, but possibly to have some conversations with his family, which I think should be interesting. So I thought it was another really fun and enjoyable episode. I would give it an 8.5. But what did you guys think? Did you like this episode? Did you like the 7th Kiramager? Would you like to see it actually be used in the future? Let me know in the comments as always. Until next time, like, comment, subscribe, and climb the steps and ring that bell so you can just find my videos. Dawson Ryder, signing out.